So a lot of private practitioners and small business owners try to improve their SEO to get more clients, but many times they're actually focusing on the wrong details and they're not doing what they need to grow their practice or their business. And in fact, they're wasting a ton of time. And in today's video, I want to share with you one of the most important factors when it comes to SEO, one that's actually overlooked, one that you can start implementing today to actually grow your business. And I'm also going to share with you how I do SEO or don't do SEO in my businesses that might actually shock you. So just really quickly to get it out of the way, what is SEO? SEO is called search engine optimization. It's basically how our website shows up in search results. So if someone types into Google, anxiety therapy near me, and your website shows up, that means that your website is optimized for search. That's good SEO. Now, when it comes to SEO, there are tons and tons of different things that we can do. There are tons of technical details, right, that we can do on the back end of a website. We can do things on the front end of a website. We can do keyword research. We can make sure all the right words are in our copy, the right numbers of words. There is just so much that we can do. And even as I'm talking about this and recording this video, I'm like, wow, yeah, there's this, there's that, there's meta tags, meta titles, all sorts of things. And all of these things are important, arguably. But I find that a lot of therapists and small business owners who are trying to work on SEO end up getting sucked into all of the details, whether it be the word count, the keyword research, the meta tags, the meta titles, all of that. Now, like I said, those things are important. But at the core of it, this is not the most important factor when it comes to SEO. In fact, there's actually a factor of SEO that we really need to focus on to really make sure that we stand out. And to highlight this, I actually want to pull up an article written by Google about search, okay? So in this article, the first thing they say is that Google's ranking systems are designed to sort through hundreds of billions of web pages and other digital content to present the most relevant, useful results on the first page in a fraction of a second. So the first thing that we have to think about is what they said here, the most relevant and useful results. Now that's what I want to focus in on today, relevance and usefulness. And in particular, that second one, usefulness, right? So what Google's basically saying is that when someone types in anxiety therapy, right, they can also type in something like how to cook Italian food. Google, number one, wants to make sure that relevant results show up so that the person searching for how to cook Italian food gets tutorials or demonstrations or how-to videos, something like that about cooking, right? And they also want to make sure that those tutorials or those things that they're showing up are actually high quality. Why? Because at the end of the day, Google wants people to stay on Google. The way they do that is by making sure people get what they're searching for. And this is where we miss the mark. Your meta tags, your titles, your word count, and all that. Again, although they're important, that is not going to be the sole feature that gets you shown at the top of search results. What is going to get you shown? It is relevance and it is usefulness. We can also call usefulness quality. Let's go down a little bit further inside this article from Google. So in this section on quality that's written by Google, they say that after identifying relevant content, our systems aim to prioritize those that seem most helpful. To do this, they identify signals that can help determine which content demonstrates expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. Going down to the next paragraph, they say one factor used to determine quality is understanding if other prominent websites link or refer to that content. Now, when we get backlinks from reputable websites to our own website, this demonstrates to Google that we know what we're talking about and that we have high quality content. Is it the link itself? No, not all links are created equal. If I get some sort of backlink from a really terrible spammy website to my webpage, it's actually gonna hurt my website rather than help it. And let's just use this example, which would be very unlikely to happen. Let's just imagine one of the big New York City hospitals in New York City, their psychiatry department linked back to my website and linked to an article that I wrote about ADHD. This would be huge for my authority, right? Because now Google sees that this big hospital and this well-established institution has linked back to Matt's website, which would then help them determine that I have high quality content. But the point here, it's not about backlinks, that's not what this video is about. But the point here is that it's not the link itself. It's the quality of content. And this is what I want people to begin focusing in on, creating high quality content. Now, this doesn't just mean high quality in terms of edits and looking professional, although that's a small part of it. High quality means, are we answering people's questions better than other people, right? Are we answering people's questions effectively, with authority, and in ways that resonate with people so that they read it, consume it, or watch it? So actually, when it comes to SEO, it doesn't have to be that complicated. If we are creating high quality content, which could be in the form of blogs, YouTube videos, other things like that, and we're answering people's questions and we are relevant to what they're searching for, and people watch it and consume it, Google over time will begin to show you in search results. Now, to drive this point further, let me share with you a bit about my own businesses. So I actually have two businesses. One is my clinical practice, right? The other one is my consulting business, which is this YouTube channel here and coaching other therapists and things like that. Two different entities. My clinical practice, I have spent time working on technical SEO and keyword research and blogging and all of that. For my consulting business, I actually haven't spent that much time doing technical SEO or really actually working on the website at all. My main priority is making YouTube videos. Would you know that my website for my consulting business far outperforms, by a long shot, my clinical practice? Now, a couple caveats there. My clinical practice is a local business, right? So obviously it's not going to be ranking nationally or anything like that, right? And the consulting business can obviously be for national searches and people searching for private practice and all that. But the point still remains the same, that my consulting business, I focused for the last several years, since I've started it, on producing high quality content that answers people's questions. This alone has been able to drive people to my website, and I do show up in Google search results. My video shows up in Google search results. My website shows up in Google search results. But at the end of the day, it does come down to producing high quality content. And I think this is where therapists and small business owners really miss the mark. They end up thinking that if they work on all the technical stuff, which not to their fault, they get sold these packages. People sell meta tags and titles and SEO and keyword. Again, all of it is helpful. But you can have a website that doesn't have any high quality content, do all the technical SEO you want, and it's not really gonna do much. It comes down to high quality content. Now, I said that over and over in this video. So let's actually talk about how we produce high quality content. So the first thing we have to define is, what is high quality content? Another way to think about this is useful. So going back to that hypothetical example of someone searching for how to cook Italian food at home, right? If they type that into Google and my blog comes up, let's imagine I made a blog that really details how to cook Italian food at home. It's in depth, it's helpful, it gives people exactly what they need, it gives them recipes, it gives them shopping lists. It's just really good, right? It actually answers that question really comprehensively. We can assume then that people are gonna resonate with that. They're gonna share that blog post, they're gonna stay on that blog post, right? It's gonna be proven to be high quality. So at the end of the day, high quality is actually determined by the user. Our part is to figure out what people are asking for and what people are searching for. We'll talk about that in just a second. And once we get a sense of what people are looking for, we need to make sure that we create high quality content. So let's make this a little more practical for therapists and private practice owners. Let's imagine you are a therapist specializing in anxiety and you are hoping to go all cash pay, and you really only want to focus on that. You want most of your clients to be people dealing with, let's say, adults dealing with anxiety. So then how do we get our website and our content to show up in search results? So the first thing we want to do is figure out what those people are searching for. This involves a little bit of research. We can do keyword research on things like Google Keyword Planner, right? You start typing in anxiety therapy or anxiety for XYZ, right? And you start to do some research. What are people with anxiety searching for, right? Are they asking for tips? Are they asking for tools? Are they wanting to know about anxiety? Now you can go on YouTube and start typing in anxiety therapy or anxiety, and you do really can be kind of flexible, but you're doing some research. So then what you're going to start to see is what people are searching for, and you're going to start seeing answers to those questions because other people are making the blog posts and the YouTube videos, and you're going to get a sense of what people are searching for and what they're asking and what's being provided, what's given, right? And so what we want to start to do is figure out how we can also insert ourselves there in a unique way. So if someone is searching for tips on how to manage anxiety in the workplace, we might notice that there's actually not many licensed therapists making videos about that. or there's not many articles that are actually helpful written by therapists, which of course this is a saturated market. This is just an example, right? So you're a licensed therapist, you start making videos about how to manage anxiety in the workplace, right? And what we're doing is we're answering people's questions in a way that is high quality, meaning you're answering their questions, this is what they're searching for. And we want to do it in such a way that provides real value. So after watching their video, they actually feel like they gained something or benefited in some way. Basically, as a therapist, what you're doing is you're trying to figure out what your target audience is searching for that relates to your services and what you do. And you're going to start answering those questions. You probably already know the answer to the questions. It's just now about turning it into a piece of content. And I promise you that over time, this content, if it's good, and it'll be proven to be good if people consume it, right? People will start to watch it and consume it. Maybe it's a blog post, they'll read it, right? And this will start to show Google that it is high quality, right? Now, the second thing is, what kind of content do we create? First off, content is better than no content. The first thing you want to think about is where your target audience lives, right? So if you are working with millennials or Gen Z or whatever it is, which platforms are they on? That's usually where I would start, right? You can start there and then you start making content for that platform. You always take that video or whatever and turn it into a blog. Google's becoming much smarter and is starting to rank videos, is starting to rank other things other than just websites. Personally, I recommend YouTube because it's the second largest search engine in the world and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere and most people are on YouTube. At the end of the day, the medium is important, but what's most important is that it is high quality. It is providing people real value in regards to what they're searching for. I know this video might have been a little all over the place, a little rambly, but I want to really simplify things. I want you to just simply focus on providing value, high quality content to your ideal client. And I promise you, over time, this will begin to work. This is going to really help your practice grow. This will help your business grow. And at the end of the day, if you can build an audience, you might even be able to diversify and not just do clinical therapy, but you might be able to branch off and do some sort of coaching or start some other business. But if we can start to build an audience in this way, then you're going to see really great results. I wanted to make this because so many people get tunnel visioned into all the technical details. Although important, what we really need to focus on is high quality content. Now, if you're interested in getting any sort of help with content creation, coming up with a strategy, that is something I've done. I like to help people with. Please book a free call with me down below. I'd be happy to talk with you more about what I offer and we can go from there. Other than that, I hope this video was helpful for you. Hope you learned something. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video.